Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. After a very long time, we are back. I think my last episode was the day after the Super Bowl. I'm gonna turn down this light a little bit. Is the day after the Super Bowl. And the NBA trade deadline had just happened, and all those crazy trades had just gone on. So it's been a while. I started coaching softball for the first time. I started up some classes for school again, and my schedule just took off out of nowhere. And so I've been trying to find a way to like reschedule my time to make sure to do these, and I think I found it. So I'm gonna finalize what that schedule is gonna look like before I go ahead and announce like what the new official dates are gonna be um, for these podcasts and these episodes for the lives. Um, but I'll let you know as we go. But NBA playoffs have essentially kind of already started. I don't know. I need the score update right now of the play-in games. So the Bulls beat the Pistons, so they're in. And then oh no, these are all the Sunday games. Where are the today games? So the Hawks beat the Heat. That's huge. Because the Heat, I think, have a great chance to take down some of the Giants in the East. Um, and like the Celtics, the Bucks, and the Sixers, the Heat have match up well against them. The fact that the Hawks beat them is crazy. But the Hawks can get hot from three, so that's the cool thing about the play-in tournament is all it takes is one game. And then right now, the Timberwolves are actually up on the Lakers by 6 points, which is wild. But technically, the Lakers, you want to face Denver. We'll actually get to this in a second. You want to face the Nuggets in the first round. But you know, so do you want to lose tonight? No, but if you lose, it's not the end of the world because you can win the next game and then go get Denver in round one. So there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to start in basketball because obviously the NBA playoffs has officially started. If you're watching this either live or down the road, go ahead and comment who you think's going to win it all. And yeah, but I'll kind of talk through what I think is going on. So I gotta remember how to do this. If I do this, right? Yeah, okay, and I'm right there. So let's talk through. I'm gonna slide myself over so we don't have to look at whatever salad thing is going on there. There we go. So let's talk through what's going on with the Hawks. Congrats, you got here. Congrats, you got into the playoffs. I mean, I didn't think you were gonna win in the play-in, but you got here. But you got the Celtics round one. Congratulations, you made it. But that's as far as you're going. You're gonna get destroyed by the Celtics, who are one of the people that I have as the favorites. That's a team where they need to get it right, and depending on who they face in the finals, if they got there, could end up winning it all. But out of the three East teams that I think could get there, they're probably the weakest of the favorites. So when we have more than one team in each section, I'm going to order them in the orders that I think that they go. Brooklyn, also congrats you got here. That whole situation, dude, of this year and what happened with them, of Kyrie and KD doing what they did, it sucks to see if you're a Brooklyn fan. But the fact that they hung on and stayed in the playoffs is cool, but you're going to lose to the Sixers in round one. The Bulls. So now the Bulls have their playing game against the Raptors. That's going to be another congrats you got here situation, because whoever wins that game goes and plays the Heat, right? Yeah. So whoever wins that game plays the Heat, and then the winner of that game goes to lose to the Bucks, essentially. Actually, the Heat could possibly win it, but the Bucks aren't getting anywhere past the first round. Clippers could win a series. Now, they drew the short straw and got the Suns in the first round, who are, everyone's kind of looking at them as the favorites. I don't really think so. I wouldn't put them as the favorites, and here's why. They haven't played enough together, and injuries. But the Suns are scary, and you don't want to see them. And the problem is the Clippers could probably get Paul George back if they made it to round 2. So if they got someone like the Kings or the Grizzlies or whatever and could get past them and get to round 2, they would have more of a shot. But not having Paul George for a series against the Suns is brutal. You know what I just thought of? We're going to add a row below. That's where we're going to put the non-playoff teams. The Cavs, they're definitely going to win a series. They're going to beat the Knicks. And then they're going to go see the Bucks. I'm going to say they could do it. They could do it. They are a very exciting team. They're probably who I would root for the most out of the East. I don't think they're going to get there, but in terms of like who I would like to see do it, the Cavs are probably the ones that I would like to see do it the most. They're young, they're exciting, but they're young and never been in this spot before. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, of course, has had some playoff moments, but he the rest of that team hasn't ever been here. Now, could they gel and get it done? Sure. And the question will be, do they have enough to slow down Giannis? I would say yes, because they have Evan Mobley and they have Jared Allen. So those two guys could be enough to slow down the Bucks and get past them, and then from there it's anybody's game. So they could do it. Denver could win a series. Now I know this is just like last year, a big time fraud team. Jokic doesn't deserve the 2 MVPs he already has. He better not get the MVP this year. This team is so just not it. They could win a series. And here's what I mean. If the Lakers continue on this path, they're still losing by 8. They fall and they go up against, OKC or the Pelicans and win and then go face the Nuggets, the Nuggets are going to lose that series. But if Lakers win tonight, they go face Memphis, and then OKC, I believe, could go beat the Nuggets. So they could win a series depending on their first matchup, but then they're going to go up against the Suns and it's going to be over for them. So this is the farthest they're going to get. And I'm not even comfortable putting them in. They're definitely going to win a series because they could see the Lakers. So that means they could win a series. Rockets did not make it. Lakers are a favorite for me. They're scary. They're very scary. They've had a crazy year in terms of injuries. They've had a crazy year in terms of the absolute canyon that they buried themselves in to start the year off, and the way that they've battled back to now be in this position. They've got to get in, obviously, because they're in the play-in, which is, a scary thing. But if they do, if I'm the Grizzlies or if I'm the Nuggets, I am so mad that we're the ones that are going to have to be going against the Lakers. They're a very scary team. Bucks, obviously, they have the best player in the world on their team right now in Giannis. Middleton is healthy. They need to keep their fingers crossed on that. But that team is, I would say, the scariest out of the East. And I could see them winning against any Western Conference team. No matter who made it there, they could win against any Western Conference team. That's not the case with the Celtics. Oh, I said I was going to order these as we go. So That's right. Yeah. This is correct. The Bucks could win against any team that comes out of the West. The Heat. Heat are interesting. So the loss makes it worse for them because I think they could have beat the Celtics. I don't know if they could beat the Bucks, but Bam Adebayo exists. He just does not have a good track record in the playoffs. Now, the Heat and the Bucks went against each other last year in the conference finals and were like a shot, I think, a final shot away from going to the finals. And then they went to the finals in the bubble year. So part of me wants to put them in could do it. Part of me wants to put them in. I'm going to put them in could win a series. If they would have won tonight and gone against the Celtics, I would put them in the could do it. Because I think they would meet the Bucks again in the conference finals. But because they lost tonight, I'm going to say maybe they could win a series against the Bucks. Maybe. They have the least chance out of these three to win a series. Yeah, so that's the right place to put them. Mavericks. Oh, the Mavericks are an embarrassment. We'll talk about them in the next segment. It was beautiful for me to see. Can't stand the Mavericks. Pelicans. Congrats, you got here. Which you're not even here yet. You need to get in. You're the 9 seed, but you're not doing anything. The Knicks. Congrats, you got here. I don't think they have any chance against the Cavs. Good for Knicks basketball to be back in the playoffs again. They've had a couple years of success in that. They are not winning against the Cavs. And even if they did, they're not going to. But even if they did, they'll get decimated by the Bucks in the next round. OKC, this is a honest congratulations you got here. It's cool to see you guys competing to be in the playoffs, right? Especially with such a young team. And honestly, let's see. The Lakers are now behind by 9. It's getting worse. So if the Lakers pull it out tonight, I could see OKC getting in and going against Denver and then maybe having a chance because Denver was not all that great. But if the Lakers lose, then it's wraps. But even before they get there, they have to get past the Pelicans, and I don't think the Pelicans have what it takes anyway. So seriously, congratulations on getting here. But and depending on how everything falls, I could see them moving up to here. If the Lakers win, I could see them could win a series. But for now, congrats, you got here. Dame, this doesn't have to do with the playoffs. Dame, leave Portland, please. We want to see you compete, dude. I get your loyalty and I get but that franchise has failed you. Just leave. We want to see you do things in the playoffs. We want to see you compete. So Pacers aren't in. Pistons aren't in. Sacramento. Congratulations, you're the 2 seed or the 3 seed, and congratulations, you drew the Warriors in the first round. So let me order these. Pelicans, Bulls, Brooklyn. I think Sacramento's the best out of these. And if they drew anyone else, I could say you could win a series. But they don't play defense, and the Warriors are the Warriors. So congrats, you got here. You got everybody excited for a season. You're the 3 seed. You're going home in round 1. They do not play defense. And the Warriors do. And Wiggins is back. And the team is healthy. You're in trouble. So congrats on having the best season you've had since 2001. But it ends in this first series. Phoenix obviously is a favorite. Out of these 4, I would put them here, right above the Lakers. They have to stay healthy, which is their health, of their 3 stars, all 3 of them are made of glass. And that's why I almost want to put them in could do it, because if they stay healthy, they're definitely a favorite, but we're going to assume health. We're going to assume no injuries, right? Which, what's cool right now is the NBA across the board is relatively healthy. The Denver Nuggets are healthy. The Pelicans are missing Zion. The Thunder are healthy. The Suns are healthy. The Clippers are missing Paul George. The Lakers are healthy. The Timberwolves are healthy. They just can't stop punching each other in the face. The Kings are healthy. The Warriors are healthy. The Grizzlies are healthy. Hawks are healthy. Celtics are healthy. Heat, Nets, Sixers, Knicks, Cavs, Bucks. Yeah, the NBA outside of Paul George and Zion, it's healthy, which is cool to see. Spurs enjoy the next 10 years of being bad. Sixers, I'll say, are a favorite over the Celtics, but not over the Lakers, not over Phoenix, and definitely not over Milwaukee. The Raptors, if you win against the Bulls, then you have to face the Heat, and then you have to face the Bucks. You're not winning a series. Congrats, you got here. I'll put you above Brooklyn. Weird situation that they're in. I think they need to do a full teardown. They need to sell Pascal Siakam, sell Fred VanVleet, just kind of trade them away, see what they can get, restart with the young guys that you have. I think Scotty Barnes is the real deal, and I think he's going to end up being really good. And you've got some other young pieces going on that team where you kind of sell your stars and rebuild and see if you can ever make it back. The Jazz are a joke. The Warriors are favorites. I would say, I think the Warriors and the Suns are the only teams that truly have a chance of beating the Lakers in the West. Because yeah, that I really don't see another Western team beating the Lakers in a series. It's the Warriors and the Suns. So they're an obvious favorite. If you don't think they could get to the finals, then I don't know where you've been for the last decade of basketball. But it's going to be another fun run, and they're going to blow through the Kings, and then we're going to get to see, well, depending on what happens with the Lakers, we either get to see Warriors Grizzlies or Warriors Lakers in the second round, and that's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for that. Wizards aren't in it. The Grizzlies, if the Grizzlies get the Timberwolves, then they're going to win that series. No problem. If the Grizzlies get the Lakers, I'll say they could win it. I don't think they would. They could win it. They have the big man presence that you need to stop the Lakers, so they could do it. I give them a better chance than the Heat, better chance than the Lakers, better chance than the Nuggets. They have a much better chance of beating the Lakers than the Nuggets do. But if they get the Timberwolves, which are congratulations, you got here, team, then they're definitely winning the series. So the only teams that I have for sure making it out of the first round are the Cavs, Celtics, Sixers, Lakers, Warriors, Suns, Bucks. Now, what I need to do is I'm going to go back to the live scene. I want to see if there is a bracket that I can fill out. And I want to see if there's like a March Madness type thing you can fill out for which March Madness. Let's talk about that for a second. SDSU making that run was so cool. That was so much fun, man. I'm really glad that happened. Oh, perfect. Here we go. Let's bring this over here. Boom. And Let's go back to, it's been a while since I've done this, so I need to do this right. Okay, cool. So, we are going to get, I'm going to, let me look at the score again. Ooh, the Lakers have trimmed it to 6. I need to like look at the actual stats to see what's going to happen there. But if the Lakers win tonight, let's assume Lakers win tonight and Minnesota wins here. So we're going to go Lakers. Oh, okay. I see what we're doing. So we're saying Lakers out of that, and they win in 6. They win at home at the Staples Center in 6. And then Minnesota goes here, so Memphis wins that in, we'll say 5. Golden State will win this in 5. They're gonna steal one on the road, win both at home, and then go back and win one at Sacramento again. So I'll say they win it in 5. Phoenix is gonna win this in 4. This is crazy. Golden State wins this in 6. Huh. Lakers in 6. Because I don't think the Phoenix Suns are making it through 2 series without an injury. So I think the Lakers will clean that up. And then I'm going to say it's Golden State, because they now have home court. So we see another epic Steph Curry versus LeBron series. Golden State wins it in 7. Doesn't matter who wins out of there. Milwaukee's winning it in 4. Cleveland's winning this in 5. Philly's winning this in 4. Boston's winning that in 4. That's the most lopsided first round we're going to see by far. Look at, 100% of people are picking Boston over Atlanta. That is crazy. Milwaukee, Cleveland. I'll say Milwaukee in 6. Philly, Boston will be probably, outside of Lakers, Golden State, this is the best possible series that we can get in the playoffs. And I think the Sixers win it in 6. And then Milwaukee will win it in 7. What will the point margin be in game 1 of the NBA Finals? Game 1 of the NBA Finals between Golden State and Milwaukee. Golden State will win by 8. And then Golden State wins this in 6. Because 3 points is better than 2. And we're not going to save these picks, but that's my playoff prediction. All right. That is the end of block number 1. That's me predicting the playoffs. We're going to take a quick break and come back and just kind of talk about everything else that happened in the NBA season to end the year. And then we'll talk a little bit of baseball too. So we will be right back. Scotty Might Know podcast in a second. All right, we are back. I'm going to make sure that that's not playing any sound. I found the Lakers game, put it on, and they just took the lead. Which is changes everything about what I just predicted. Again, we're not. Hold on. Boop. All right. I just predicted everything based on the fact that the Lakers lose this game. Because they were down by 9. So all that changes is we see Lakers Grizzlies in the first round, and the Lakers play the Warriors one series earlier, and then we get Warriors Suns in the conference finals, which I still believe the Warriors win. Because again, I don't think the Suns are staying healthy. But that's a fun possible series. Very fun possible series. Oh, and Minnesota has the lead right back. Mike Conley, I forgot he's on this team. All right, so everything else that happened with the NBA season, the Mavericks falling apart was glorious to watch. I think Luka gets too much credit. I don't think he's quite as good as people are saying he is. I think he's got a lot to go. I think he needs to take better care of himself. I think he needs to actually commit to being a basketball player if he wants to do this. Like, you need to do the things that basketball players do, which is take care of your body and be in shape. So you need to do that. My camera cannot focus right now, by the way. I'm very sorry. Maybe if I stop moving as much. So we're just going to kind of park it right here. Kyrie, the Kyrie trade was one of the worst things the Mavericks organization has ever done. That just it reeked of I almost said depression, desperation. Like, I don't know why you would ever make that move. You were the 4 seed, you made the trade, then you're out of the playoffs. How does that happen? I don't understand it. And I think Luka's going to end up leaving because of that move. Um, and not yet, but I think if things start to go sideways again next year, then he's going to hold that stat. The LeBron and Anthony Davis have pretty much most of the Lakers points, and the rest of the team. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah, this Lakers team is scary. I think Minnesota is playing out of their minds right now, and I think the second half they're going to cool off, but you never know. Um Oh, I don't know about that one. We'll see if that was actual block or goaltending. So the Mavericks are in trouble. The Hornets, I don't know. You need to figure something out, man. You can't keep being as bad as you are. And if only their general manager was like a great basketball player or something in his day and didn't suck at being a GM. By the way, just quick NBA GOAT talk. Because whenever people talk to me about how Michael Jordan's the GOAT, one of the things they always say is like, oh, well, the shoes and his brand and his greatness outside of being just a player and, whatever. So if all of that counts, does him being an abysmal GM also count to his legacy? Because he sucks at that. He's a very, very, very bad decision maker when running a team. He's horrible. So does that count to his legacy, or do we just count what we like? Anyway, the Rockets will be good in 5 years. The Mavericks we don't know. The Magic, I mean, you got Paulo, and he had a cool year, but Trailblazers, Damian Lillard needs to leave. I know he's all about loyalty and everything, but he needs to leave. Pacers are in a weird spot. Like, you got a cool couple pieces, and maybe you get into the playoffs soon, but we'll see. Same with the Pistons. Cool couple young pieces. I think Jalen Duran, however you say it, and then Cade Cunningham's, I think, is going to be, we're going to see him take a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander type turn, where all of a sudden he just starts to make all-star teams and all-NBA teams soon. Spurs are in NBA purgatory for another 5 years. The Wizards need to sell and get Bradley Beal and Porzingis on different teams and restart. And the Jazz have already restarted. So now when it comes to, this is a huge legacy year, I would say, for the NBA. And here's what I mean. We're going to go back over to our little tier lists. My favorite thing to do. So I'm also going to make myself a touch big. Okay, never mind. A touch bigger. There we go. We'll move myself over here. All right. So, we're just going to do this by a lot, like a lot. We're going to do letter grades. S, A. Do this real quick. So here's what we're going to do. Who has the most to gain by winning a championship? And what it means for each player if they go all the way. Giannis, I'll say a kind of legacy bump. Grade A is, oh my gosh. The Minnesota Timberwolves are now up by 11. What happened? It was just 49-48, and now it's 49-60. I was not watching. Anyway, Giannis with another ring is now a multi-championship guy, which is just a different level. You got a bunch of guys that have a ring. It's a different level to have multiple rings and multiple MVPs. And so he enters that realm. I think he enters top 20 for sure. I think he's already in there, but we start talking about him of top 15 all time. I don't think he's in it yet, even with a second ring, but he's in the conversation now. we're gonna talk about like the stars of the team, not necessarily Bam. You know what? We're gonna put Bam on there because you need to show that you can do something in the playoffs. Kevin Durant, if he wins, has a ton to gain. Um, because the Suns team was drawing dead. It's not like he's joining the Suns from 3 years ago or 2 years ago. This year they weren't going to do a thing. And now with him, they're the favorites. And so that would be a lot for his legacy. He would then have 3 rings, and people would stop complaining about the 2 that he got in Golden State. Nikola Jokic is not going to win it, but then I think he would actually finally deserve some respect. I don't think he deserves any respect. The 2 MVPs that he got are 2 of the 4 worst MVP, 2 of the 5 worst MVPs ever given out. The 5 worst MVPs ever given out are the 2 that went to Steve Nash, the 1 that went to Russell Westbrook, and the 2 that have gone to Nikola Jokic. They're the worst MVPs ever given out. But if he wins a championship, then maybe we stop saying that. And maybe he starts to get some respect. Chris Paul is in that level too. He's not going to win it because he's Chris Paul. You know what? That's another reason the Suns aren't going to win the championship, because you have Chris Paul on the team. That's the other reason why the Sixers aren't going to win a championship, because you have James Harden. And it's the reason why the Clippers aren't going to win a championship, because you have Russell Westbrook. We know things. The sky is blue. Grass is green. Sunsets are beautiful. We need air to live. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden will never win a championship. We know those things. All of those things. And so, but he does have a lot to gain. I mean, he would finally get out of, oh yeah, he was good, but he never won a championship talk. But it's not going to happen. The Suns aren't getting there. The Suns are going to get injured and everything's going to fall apart. LaMelo's not there. This is Garland. Anyone on the Cavs has about the same. We'll put Jimmy Butler in this too. Jimmy Butler doesn't have the resume Chris Paul has outside of having a championship. By the way, I'm so glad he got rid of this haircut. So that's why it's not as high. It's like, oh, cool, he got one, but it's not that like, oh, finally that like Chris Paul would get. Timberwolves won't. Luka is out. Embiid has a lot to gain. Hopefully he also gets his oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. Hopefully Embiid also gets the MVP trophy. If he wins it all, that's a huge year for him. Right now, he's the best player to never make a conference finals, which is wild. He's the best player to never make a conference finals. So he needs to get there first. But if he gets the finals and wins it and wins the MVP in 1 year, man, that's a huge year for him. Zion is kind of in that boat with like anyone from the Pelicans and anyone from the Cavs is in the same boat. Cool. Like if they win it, that's sweet. But it was a team effort thing. Anthony Davis will say A, because it's going to be cool that he wins another one. And hopefully if they do win, that means he put on a great performance. But he's not going to be the leading man. And so he won't get the most attention. Kawhi, he's already got multiple rings. Like, it's cool that he got it with the Clippers, gives them their first ever championship. But it's not huge. No, because it's their first championship, we'll move it up to A. Lillard's not in. Booker, that's cool you got it, but it's Kevin Durant's the reason you got it. You belong in what we're calling Cavs Pelicans land. It's like, oh, it's cool. If you guys want it, then that's cool. It was a team effort thing. Jaylen Brown, if he leaves the team next year, they're gonna suffer. But if they win it all, then maybe he stays around. So it's pretty important for him. It's not gonna happen for Trae Young. Oh, I never did Ja. It's not gonna happen. Nah, because it's not going to happen for a lot of these guys. If John Morant gets one, he has a lot to gain. He's had a bad year, right? And so it turns around the narrative on him that he currently has. Harden would be huge. Kyrie is out. Siakam, nah, whatever. It would be another. The Raptors did it as a team thing. Pacers aren't in it. The Sacramento Kings would be huge. We're gonna do that in A because again, it's your first one. Where's De'Aaron Fox? Is De'Aaron Fox on this list? He's not. Curry cements him as the greatest point guard to ever live. LeBron James cements him as the GOAT. If LeBron wins it this year, you cannot argue that anybody else is the greatest player to ever do it. To lead a team to a championship in your 20th NBA season, argument's over for everybody else. Let's see who else. You know what? Who else has a lot to gain here? Tatum, Brandon Ingram's in that realm. Same with Bulls players. DeMar, Zach LaVine, you're not in it. It would be cool for Paul George, but they aren't going to do it. Cool for Shea. Rudy's punching people. Karl Anthony Towns isn't going to make it. We'll go there. Now there's a couple people missing from this list. De'Aaron Fox isn't on this list. Who else is missing that I was just thinking about? Somebody else is missing on this list. Anyway, that's the situation. Here's what I mean about LeBron and Steph. You can't... It's going to be silly to argue otherwise if one of those two guys wins a championship. Steph isn't going for the greatest player of all time, but all of a sudden, saying it doesn't sound crazy. You have 5 rings, 3 of which you did without a top 75 all-time teammate, which the only other guy to have multiple rings without a top 75 teammate is Kobe. And he did it 2 times, right? Yeah, he did it 2 times. So if he got his 3rd ring without a top 75 all-time teammate, then you're talking about him in that top 5 NBA players of all time stratosphere. Magic becomes the 2nd best point guard to ever play. And the Warriors would again be on top of the world. And everyone would finally accept that this has been a dynasty that's been going on since 2015. There was just injuries that got in the way in the middle of it. If LeBron wins it, it's his 5th ring, and he's won it with 3 teams, multiple times with 2 of them. Teams that were nothing without him and were nothing when he left. Teams that he's been the leading man on. And he would have done it at every phase of his career. I think he already has 4 Hall of Fame careers, but this would just cement the 4th one. I think his first stint with the Cavs is a Hall of Fame career. If we're going to put Charles Barkley in the Hall of Fame, then LeBron's first stint with the Cavs is a Hall of Fame career. His career with the Heat is a Hall of Fame career. Multiple MVPs, multiple titles. With the Cavs, he had an MVP or multiple MVPs and a finals appearance. With the Heat, you have multiple MVPs, 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs. His career, when he goes back to the Cavs, is a Hall of Fame career. And then now his career with the Lakers, I believe, is already a Hall of Fame career. If you add a 2nd ring to that, it's definitely a Hall of Fame career. And it would be him leading a team to not only his 11th finals appearance, but in his 20th year. And so I think arguing anybody else as the best player to ever step on a basketball court would be borderline insane. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to talk baseball. So we will be right back. All right, we are back. Um, so my next episode is gonna be uh baseball heavy. And obviously this is the NBA playoffs are starting, so I wanted to do all those predictions and stuff now. So we're gonna do a quick thing on the MLB now. I'm gonna kind of run through each team, give my thoughts on what's going on, and then my next episode will be a huge like prediction, all that kind of different stuff. The Rockies enjoy last place, but they always beat the Padres for some reason. So they're a fun team to watch right now. Maybe they aren't last. Maybe they sneak ahead of the Diamondbacks, but they don't have any pitching, so that's what it is. Sticking in the MLB or the NL West, the Diamondbacks, cool. Like, you guys exist. You guys have. I think Diamondbacks are in last place. Rockies will be in fourth. The Giants will be in third. Dodgers second, and then the Padres win the NL West for the first time in a long time. The Dodgers are still the Dodgers, and they're still good, and they're still to be feared, but they are not what they were these last couple years. And I mean, they lost to a better Dodgers team lost to a worse Padres team last year in the playoffs. We watched it all happen. And so that's why I'm really not scared of the Dodgers this year. The Dodgers got worse. The Padres got better. The Padres added Tatis and Bogarts to a roster that beat a Dodgers team that had Justin Turner, Trey Turner, Cody Bellinger, and those guys are gone now. And Walker Buehler still isn't back. Now, the Dodgers pitching is still great. But the roster, the lineup isn't as good as it was. So now the Padres need to pick it up, dude. They had a horrendous start to the season. But this last week has been really good for them. Hopefully this is more like the Padres that we're going to watch and not that start to the season. Braves are scary. Braves are really scary. But that division, it is wild with them, the Mets, and the Phillies. Now, talking about the Padres' bad start to the year. Phillies have been horrid to start the year, which kind of sucks to be them because you just had your World Series appearance and then you added Trey Turner and you start off the season like this. Not great for you. Not good. It'll be interesting to see what they're sitting at when they get to the point of like when the Lakers were 2-10 and they had to climb back out of that hole. They're in danger of having to do that. But 82 and 162, so you got to get to like the 24 game mark before you really see what that is. So we'll see if the Phillies pick it up. I would put them in the same tier as the Dodgers. It's like they're definitely scary, but all of a sudden really not that scared of them. I'm gonna do tiers. It was kind of already made for me. Also, they have the old Padres logo on here, so forgive that. But we're back to tier lists are my favorite thing to do if you haven't figured that out yet. Playoffs. We're not gonna say bad team. This was pre-made, so I'm changing it. Playoffs. Then we'll call this one maybe, and then we'll just say no. So I think this and this maybe could make the playoffs. Maybe. That's a very, very strong maybe. And then this one is kind of like that realm of like, oh, they're scary. Like, I could see them, if they went to the championship, I wouldn't be surprised. But they have flaws, or in the Phillies case, maybe they're not all that was cracked up to be. Seattle, playoff team. Had a great run last year. Exceeded all expectations. They need to follow it up, though. Uh, no. Orioles are sneaky. The Orioles are sneaky. You know what? We're gonna do this. We always had a row. We're gonna say dark horse. I don't think they're. I need to learn how to spell. I don't think they're a dark horse for this year, but I think in the next few years, Orioles are like a weird, like lot of young talent. Could make some noise. Like I feel like they're on the trajectory that the Padres just went on. Like young talent, maybe sneak into the playoffs and lose in the first round, and then the next year, do something. They're kind of in that realm. Red Sox aren't doing anything this year. The Rays are probably a playoff team. Twins aren't doing anything this year. The A's are horrible. The Reds aren't doing anything this year. The Cardinals, because of who they are a playoffs team, I'm not scared of them. There's nothing that we need to switch this list. There's nothing about the Cardinals that actually makes me believe that they're a championship caliber team. Yankees are scary, but I don't know. I don't know what it is that makes me not believe in the Yankees. I think maybe because all of their pitchers are hurt right now. Like, all of their pitchers are hurt to start the year. Yes, do they have Aaron Judge? Yeah. I think he's going to be sub 50 home runs this year, which 40 plus home runs is still good. I don't think he's going to get to 50. I actually have a bet with one of my friends who's going to be on the next episode, where we're going to talk about this a little bit more. But so Aaron Judge is fantastic. Volpe is fantastic. He's having a great start to his career. But after that, you get into like, oh yeah, our third baseman is Josh Donaldson, and sometimes we have to play Giancarlo Stanton in the outfield. Oh, but we have Harrison Bader. I forgot Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader's good. But we also can't figure out our catcher situation. No, but they have Anthony Rizzo, though. And our pitchers are all hurt. It's like they have some really, really high points on their team, and then some other points where it makes you go, I don't know. I don't fully believe in you. Plus, in the AL, if you're in the AL at all, the Astros exist. And so you have to... Freaking Angels. Like, we're adding a whole new tier for them. I can't believe that the Angels are real. The stat, it was yesterday, I think, 2 days ago. Ohtani and Mike Trout had unbelievable games at the plate, but nobody else on their team got a hit, and they lost the game. You can't write a script that's more humorous than what the Angels do. And I feel so bad for Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, and I hope that the Angels say, we're sorry for wasting you guys. Where do you want to go, and make a trade? Because it's so sad, man. That's not their logo anymore. And the Guardians can make the playoffs. The Blue Jays are definitely a playoff team. Oh, there we go. The White Sox could make the playoffs. The Detroit Tigers, no. The Houston Astros are winning the AL. The Pirates aren't doing anything. The Brewers could make the playoffs. The Nationals, I'll put them in with the Orioles. It's a weird dark horse team. Same with the Cubs. It's like, oh yeah, no, they're not gonna make it, right? Like, yeah, no, they're not gonna make it. Wait, right? Like, they have spots on their team where you go, maybe, like they could possibly do it. So we're gonna say these are dark horse playoffs teams. These are possible playoffs, but let me order this correctly. And right there, in that order. These are in that order. this is in that order. I'll move the Yankees out of the Phillies. And I would say the Astros, then the Padres, then the Mets, then the Braves. So that's my like very rough prediction for the MLB season, but we're gonna be getting way into this in the next episode. But for now, that's gonna be it for this episode. I'm gonna go finish watching this Lakers game. And I know it took a while for me to get back to doing this, but it was good to be back. It was fun to be back, and so hopefully we're a little more consistent again with how we're doing this. Thank you so much for coming by the live stream, and if you're watching this later, thank you so much for watching. Leave your comments on what you think is going to happen for the NBA playoffs and the MLB season. Can't wait to talk to you guys next time. Scotty Might Know podcast, episode 9 is now done. Thank you so much. Bye.